Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I'd share with you some of my favorite summertime fragrances. I have about 16 fragrances here that I love to wear as the weather gets warmer. Some of these I wear throughout the year living here in South Florida where the weather is always somewhat tropical, but others I turn to when the weather gets really hot and humid. I kind of have two categories that most of these fragrances fall into. One is sort of like a tropical, beachy fragrance, and the other would be a kind of clean, fresh, refreshing fragrance. So I'll go through them with you, tell you which sort of side of the fence they fall in, or in some cases they fall into both sides of those categories. But I will get started with one of my favorite fragrances in my collection, if not my favorite fragrance, and that is Chanel No. 5. This is Low. And this is the kind of lighter, fresher, more citrusy version of Chanel No. 5. It has beautiful light florals, a little bit of citrus, a little bit of musk, and it is just such a perfect, clean, beautiful, timeless fragrance that I think you can wear day or night, or I like to wear it when I want to be feeling a little bit more put together and sophisticated. It's just, it always works. So yeah, Chanel No. 5 Low, that is one of my favorite sort of fresh and clean fragrances that I love to wear in the summertime. Another fragrance I always pull out in the summertime from Chanel is Cristal Overt. This is an absolutely gorgeous, sort of sparkling, refreshing scent that definitely is high on the citrus content. It's very fresh, it's very refreshing. There are some florals as well, but you get a lot of sort of lemony freshness with this fragrance, and it is something that I think is absolutely beautiful, especially when it is really warm and really sticky and humid and you want something that is just going to feel like a breath of fresh air on your skin. This is definitely one of the fragrances that I pull out for the summertime. The next fragrance I have on my list is from Erin, and this is Hibiscus Palm. This is, as the name would imply, a beautiful hibiscus tropical beachy fragrance that has quite a few kind of tropical florals and white florals combined with coconut. It just smells like a beautiful island tropical vacation in a bottle. It's a little bit sweet. It's perfect for daytime or nighttime, something I love to take with me when I'm on vacation, or also just use where I live since I feel like I'm always on vacation here. It's absolutely a gorgeous scent for the summertime. Another fragrance that I recently picked up from Erin is Mediterranean Honeysuckle. This one falls into that fresh and refreshing and clean sort of side of things. It is a kind of bright, not really sparkly, but definitely very fresh scent. It is citrusy, a little bit floral, not really sweet, but definitely a little bit sharp, but in a good way, a way that sort of wakes you up and gives you a lot of energy. I would consider this a very bright fragrance and one that I love to wear when I just want to smell super fresh and clean, especially in the sticky hot humidity. Again, that is Erin's Mediterranean Honeysuckle. The fragrance that I'm actually wearing today is from Byredo. This is Belle De Freak, and this is such an unusual scent. It smells like nothing else in my fragrance collection. It is kind of a sweet, floral, woody scent with a little bit of citrus, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. There's a vetiver note in this that is absolutely amazing if you are a vetiver lover like myself, and it is one that I just find perfect day or night, anytime, anywhere. Definitely a beautiful summer scent. Next up, I have two fragrances from Guerlain. The first one is Garlands Terracotta, and I recently added this to my fragrance collection because this is the perfect kind of all year scent for me where I live. It's a beautiful kind of white floral with also some tropical florals, a hint of coconut, and it is again just very relaxing, very vacation in a bottle. But I consider this one to be more of a floral than really like a coconut fragrance, and I just think it's absolutely beautiful. The other Guerlain fragrance I have is from the Aqua Allegoria line, and this is Coconut Fizz. And this is a fragrance that I had heard so many people raving about, so by the time I finally went out to try it, it was being discontinued, so I had a hard time getting my hands on it. But when I finally did, this is like a coconut fragrance like no other. This is a very light, very sweet, almost watery coconut, like a coconut water, It is not something that gets like cloying on the skin. It is just beautiful. It warms up in the sunshine and the heat, and it is something I get a lot of compliments when I wear. Just an absolutely light, refreshing coconut fragrance. Another one of my fresh and clean fragrances that I recently discovered after a friend of mine was wearing it, and I had smelled it on her several times and didn't know what it was, so I finally asked, and it was Aqua Dijoya from Giorgio Armani. And this is a beautiful kind of fresh, citrusy fragrance with some mint, and it is just so bright and clean and delicious when you are out in heat and humidity. This is perfect to kind of cut through all of that on a really hot day. This is definitely one I reach for, and I absolutely love it. Next up from Tom Ford, I have Soleil Blanc, and what would summer be without this fragrance? To me, this is sort of the first fragrance I think of when summertime rolls around. It is a beautiful, coconutty, warm, woody floral that is just absolutely gorgeous. It's very Tom Ford, but yet at the same time very summertime. I actually first smelled this on a friend of mine when we were having lunch, and I asked her what she was wearing, and I knew immediately I was going to have to go out and buy a bottle. That was years ago, but I have loved it ever since. I now actually own the Eau de Soleil Blanc, which is the EDT version of this that is a little bit lighter, a little bit more kind of citrusy and refreshing, but I love both of them. I typically use the EDT during the day, and I'll use this one going out in the evenings. This is just like an intoxicatingly beautiful bougie coconut fragrance that I highly, highly recommend. Another beautiful, bright, watery, citrusy scent that I absolutely love for the summertime is Under the Lemon Trees from Maison Margiela replica line. This is a beautiful, lemony, limey, like you're sitting under a lemon tree with all of the delicious fruit, all of the delicious leaves, like everything about the freshness of sitting under a lemon tree is what this smells like. It's bright, it's fresh, it's clean, it's delicious, and it's something that really warms up on the heat of your skin and is just absolutely lovely in the summertime. Next up on my list is another beautiful tropical coconutty scent. This is from Kayali, and this is Utopia Vanilla Cocoa. And this is, as the name would imply, a vanilla coconut scent, but what the name doesn't say about this is white floral, which to me is like the first thing I smell when I smell this. I definitely get a lot of white florals in this with a little bit of coconut, and it's, in this case, it is a very kind of thick, creamy, delicious coconut. Because of that creaminess and the thickness, I tend to reach for this more going out in the evenings during the summer, but it is one that I wear kind of in the springtime leading up to summer all day, and then going into the fall season here, I will continue to wear this fragrance because I just think it's so beautiful, and definitely one of my favorites from the Kayali line. Next up, I have two light and refreshing airy scents from Dolce & Gabbana. The first one is Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Sun. And I could have chosen any of the light blues for this video because I think they all work beautifully in the summertime, but there's something about this one that combines kind of the citrus and the apple from the original with a little bit of coconut that gives it an even more kind of tropical feel. It's kind of the perfect combination between light, bright, airy, citrusy and clean, and a little bit of coconut. So I think this is an absolutely amazing fragrance for the summertime. And the other fragrance I love from Dolce & Gabbana in the summertime is L'Imperatrice number 3. This is a beautiful kind of watery, fresh melon fragrance that's got a little bit of kiwi, it's got a little bit of melon, it's got some florals, and it's just absolutely refreshing, watery scent that when it is really hot, really sticky, and you want something to just cut right through that, this is the one I reach for. Absolutely gorgeous, smells like nothing else in my collection. I'm not someone who usually does a whole lot of kind of fruits in my fragrances, but this one is absolutely perfect for summer. The next fragrance I love to wear in the summertime is one that is clean and also a little bit woody and a little bit musky, and that is Jo Malone's Wood, Sage, and Sea Salt. This is a fragrance that when I really just don't want to even wear a fragrance, but I want to have something on, this is the one I reach for. It is like a Your Skin but better. It's a little bit salty. There's no sweetness in this, but it does have an ever so slight kind of citrus in the background. It's a little bit musky. It just makes your skin smell super nice, like you just naturally smell clean and fresh. And it's one that I not only love to wear on its own, but I love to pair this over any scents that I'm wearing that may be just a bit too sweet or a bit too much. This will definitely kind of tone that down. And it's also one I love to wear with a lot of other Jo Malone fragrances that it kind of pairs really nicely with. In the wintertime and fall, I love to pair this with some of my Jo Malone Intense, I think it's called, colognes, which are in the black bottles. This one works well with just about any of those, and definitely can kind of tone down the intensity of those fragrances and make it a little bit fresher. So really beautiful fragrance, one that I have had in my collection probably almost the longest out of everything I've talked about, and I absolutely love it. And my last two summery fragrances that I had to rave about are both from Parfums de Marly. The first one is Meliora, and this is a fragrance that I absolutely love in the summertime. It is a really fresh, refreshing berry scent where you get the berries, you get the vines, you get the stems. It's a little bit green, a little bit fruity, but not overly sweet. It's just almost even a little tart, but it's absolutely refreshing, sparkling, gorgeous, and something I love to wear in the summer. And the last fragrance on this list, also from Parfums de Marly, is the newest fragrance in my collection from the house, and this is Valaya. And Valaya is a fragrance that so took me by surprise. I had heard so many people raving about this scent, but saying that it was like a clean laundry kind of skin scent, and I do not find that to be the case at all. This is definitely a musky white floral fragrance with a little bit of iris, a little bit of orange blossom, and just this beautiful musk in the background that to me works well any time of year, but is definitely something that is refreshing and light enough to wear in the summertime. It has great projection and longevity, and it's a fragrance that I'm so happy I've added to my collection and cannot wait to be using in the summertime. So those are all of my favorite summertime fragrances. I would love to know what some of your favorite fragrances are for the summer. Please let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you soon in my next video, and have a great day. Bye.